Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at my first AirPod Pro clones, and I'll also be doing a giveaway for these, so if you would like to enter to win, then just like the video, be subscribed, and leave a comment down below letting me know that you would like to win these. I have selected the winner for the previous giveaway, and so I'll put that in the video now, and you can also check my Instagram to see who the winner was. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start checking these out. So I was really surprised with how fast this first clone came out. It only took about a week after I received my real ones that I actually got the clones. And this was not even the first batch of clones, this was the second, because they've been working on these for a while since the original ones were even leaked. So taking a look at the box, you can see that it is not as good quality as the real one. You can see the picture is a little more grainy, and it looks like a scan was just taken of the real one and then they used that. But it does have the 3D picture on the front, so that's kind of cool. And then on the back, you can see compared to the real one, it also does not look as bright and vibrant. You can kind of tell just based off of the green LED on this one looks a lot more bright, and this one looks a lot more muted, and really it looks like it has a shadow over it. The rest of the box, you can see, doesn't really have any other logos. It is just a very plain box. But let's take a look on the inside and see what they come with. So opening up the clones and the real ones, you can see on the real ones you were greeted with the normal little instruction manual that says designed by Apple in California, and then you get all the little instruction booklets and then the ones about the warranties. And then if you look at the clone, you can see you just get this one instruction manual, and it is in Chinese, and then on the inside it looks kind of like the real manual on the inside, but on the outside it really does not. As you can see, it does have pictures of the AirPod Pros, which is kind of cool. Here are the earbuds for both of them. I'm going to set those aside. The clones did not come wrapped. They were in just a little plastic bag, but I have received another pair that did come wrapped, and they were just reusing the old wrapping that they had for the AirPod 2s, so it didn't really fit on here too well. But I think they have changed that now. I've seen some clones coming out with the real wrapping. But looking in the box, you can see it came with a USB to Lightning instead of a USB Type-C to Lightning, which was kind of strange. Yeah, looking in the real one, you can see you get the earpieces, which the clones currently do not come with this. And then it also came with a Type-C to Lightning cable, which is the new style. However, I feel like the USB to Lightning is a lot more usable to a lot of the customers who don't have like the MacBook and things like that. So I think it's kind of nice that the clones are still including that. But now opening up the real pair, you can see I just wrapped it back up for the video, but it comes out very easily. And then here are the clones. So let's kind of compare them more closely and see how they look. So first I'm going to take a look at the real ones, and you can kind of see what they look like. So opening up the hinge, you can see what they look like on the inside. They do have some writing under the lid right there, as you can maybe see. And then they also have the frosted kind of hinge on the back, as well as a button that can turn on the LED in the front. And then they also have the writing on the back that says designed by Apple in California, assembled in China. And then on the bottom, like the last generations of AirPods, it does have the Lightning charging port. So comparing that to the clones, there are going to be a couple minor differences. So to start off with, the LED on the front, if you look closely, it actually is covered by a kind of like frosted covering on the LED, where this one is just a hole. And then on the back, you can kind of see the hinge design is a little bit different compared to the real one. So they are both frosted, but the hinge on the clones is slightly shorter and wider than the real ones. And then even the design by Apple in California is a little off. It actually is a little bit darker than the real one. So there are a couple of small design flaws that you can see if you compare them side by side, but I believe if you don't have the real ones in hand, then you won't really be able to tell the difference. So even looking at the text under the lid, you can see that it is a little bit different than the text on the real deal. And the next thing I would like to do is try weighing them. As far as the hinge feeling on the clones, it feels pretty much identical to the hinge on the real one. Very snappy. I think that this one might actually be a little bit more dense sounding than this one, but it is very snappy still. So if I turn on the scale and I put on the real Apple ones, then you can see that they weigh 56 grams. And then if I do the same thing with the clones, you can see that they actually only weigh 46 grams. And that is the first thing I can tell whenever I receive these, is that they are quite a bit lighter than the real ones. And that was my first kind of giveaway. And I think that now they have gotten the weight down to be the same. So, and I will be updating these videos with showing newer versions as they come out. But as I said, this is the first version of the clones that I actually got. And so there are going to be some things that are off. So the next thing I'm going to try out is the pairing process for both the real ones and the fakes. So I'm going to take the real one and open it up, and as you can see, the pop-up comes up. I hit connect, hold the button down on the back, and then in a few seconds you can see it is connecting, and it even has a little animation. And this happens every time that you pair them with a new device, and it will go through this kind of animation showing all the different functionality. And I will now try that with the clones as well. So just like the real ones, you open it up, and it did have a different pop-up menu there for a second, which was kind of weird. I'm gonna see if I can get it to come up again, and it's just the same one. So I'm gonna hit connect and then hold down the button on the back, and just like the real one, it'll have this little animation. It'll say connecting. One thing I have noticed is that the lid on the clones does actually close a lot easier, so be careful about that when you're trying to pair it, because that can mess up the pairing process. But as you can see, it does have the same animation. And let's see if I can get to pop up with the battery life. So if I close out of that, you can see the battery life, and this is real. It even shows the real AirPod Pros kind of floating around, and then if they are connected to your device, then it will say AirPod Pros. And you can currently not rename this, but they have ones coming out where you will be able to do that very soon and use the Find My iPhone features with them. So that is very cool. Stay tuned if you'd like to check that out. And even in the widgets, you can see that it shows the AirPod Pros and the AirPod case. So if I open it up again and I start taking them out, you can see that the right one is no longer charging. And then if I take the left one, you can see it is also no longer charging. And then once they have been paired to the phone, this will come up. And this is actually different than the real AirPods. When you have the real ones connected, it does not show this Bluetooth one right here. It only shows the case and the earbuds. And even if you swipe down right here, you can see that it shows a little Bluetooth logo, while the real ones actually just show the earbuds. So real quick, I'll actually show what that looks like with the real ones. As you can see, when I have the real ones paired, it actually shows the earbuds right there. And then if I go over here, well, they're kind of both connected right now, but it'll show just the earbuds, and it'll actually have the whatever name you give them paired with that. So you can kind of tell the difference between that. And this is one issue I really had with these, is that sometimes it does not recognize that both of the earbuds are in the case and charging. So when I was trying to do my battery test, which I haven't been able to successfully do yet, it was because the right one was not being counted as actually charging. So make sure that they are getting good contact with the charging pads in the case before you close it, or else you might have some issues with battery life. So the next thing I would like to look at is the actual earbuds themselves. So here I have the real one in my right hand and the clones are in my left. So when you're comparing the actual earbuds, you can see that there are some slight differences, such as the bottom piece is different on the clones compared to the real ones. So the clones are still using the same old design, while the new ones have actually changed to have the mic be all internal and have no grill at the bottom. And if you look at the bottom, you can see, maybe you can tell that the writing is a little bit different. It's actually darker on the clones than it is on the real deal. So one more thing I wanted to point out about these earbuds that is a main difference is the earpieces. So on the real ones, they have these weird kind of places where the earpieces attach, while the clones have a different design. It is just this little nub that sticks off, and then the earpieces that come with it just stick on there, and that's all it is. I have had issues where these earpieces get stuck in my ear when I go to take the earbud out, and so you have to be kind of careful because it does kind of make a suction whenever you put it in your ear. And so if you're not careful, then this will just stay in your ear like that. It comes off pretty easily. And I wish that they came with replacement earpieces so you could actually change that out, but just gonna let y'all know ahead of time that that can happen, so be careful when taking them out. So the next thing I would like to do is put both of the earbuds into my ears, and they do have ear sensors, so I'm going to test out that along with the touch functionality now. So I'm going to go to a music streaming app and start playing music, and as far as the sound quality goes on these, it is very good. However, it is also pretty loud, so I normally keep it at like 2 bars and it's loud enough for me. But I'm going to try a single tap on the right ear, and as you can see, it paused the music. I'm going to try a double tap on the right ear. I'm going to try one more time. And it does kind of make a noise whenever it activates, however it did not do anything that time. So I'm going to try a double tap now that it's playing. Okay, it goes to the next, so I'm going to try one more time. Okay, and then a triple tap on the right ear. And the triple tap does nothing, but if I take the earbud out, you can see it does pause the music. And I put it back in, and it should play. It did not that time for some reason, but if I do a single tap, it does start to play. So one thing to notice about these is that it is still using the same tap functionality as the other clones that used to be out, where you actually tap the side to cause it to activate instead of using the pressure squeeze like the real ones use. However, I think that some of the clones now are actually implementing that, and so I think that works a lot better than the tap in my opinion, because especially with these, whenever it gets the pressure behind your ear, it can be kind of painful when tapping on it. But I will try on the left ear now and try a single tap. And then a single tap makes it play, and then we'll try a double tap. You see it goes to the next song. So the left goes to the next, and so double tapping seems to go to the next song, and then a triple tap seems to go to the previous song. I'm going to test that out on the right ear as well. Yes, okay, so it has a pretty good amount of touch functionality, and I believe you can also use the Hey Siri with it if you want to, or you can actually hold down on one of the earbuds and bring up the Siri menu. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to try out is the mic on the clones, and then I'd like to compare it to the mic on the real deal. So with the clones in, I'm going to hit record. And this is the test of the mic on the AirPod Pro Clones from superknockies. And then I will actually take out, as you can see right here, the earpiece did just come off again, which this one is the only one that's really been bothering me. The other side does not seem to have this issue, so it might just be this earpiece is having an issue, or it might be just my pairs. Okay, so now I have the real AirPod Pros in, and I will try doing a voice memo with them. And this is the test of the mic on the AirPod Pros from Apple, and I will put both of those in there for you to compare. So as far as these earbuds go with the pros and cons, I do think they are a very nice pair of earbuds for $90. It is kind of a lot though. Compared to the over $200 you would have to pay to get the real deal, I definitely think that it is worth it to check these out. The fact that the Pros use the silicone ear tips instead of the original AirPods design, I think that that is a lot better in my opinion, because this is just a lot more comfortable to me. The only issues I have are that right now my case sometimes does not charge the right earbud. Also, the right earbud's silicone tip sometimes comes off whenever I am taking the earbud out, and that can be kind of annoying. But altogether, I think this is a very nice pair of earbuds. I can't tell the difference in the sound quality. To me, it sounds very good. If you're looking for just a nice alternative, then I would definitely check these out. I was able to get 3 hours, but then time ran short and I wasn't able to finish the battery test. But I will be doing one while editing this video, and I will put the results in the description down below. And as far as the range goes for these, I was able to get a total of 80 yards away before they disconnected, and I was in an open area where there was like no interference. So if you're in like an office building or a gym, or there are like a lot of other people using wireless headphones at the time, then you might get more interference and your range might not be as good. But altogether, I feel like they have some improvements to go with these, but for a first try, these are a pretty good pair of headphones. And then one more thing I want to include is that these are wireless charging, which I really think that's an important feature to have with these earbuds, because you can just kind of throw it on your nightstand before you go to bed, and then the next day they're fully charged. And from that, I have not had any issues with the battery life. I don't really think the battery life of these matters too much, as long as it's not like 2 hours or something, because they can get through an entire day for me, especially with this charging case. It can charge it about 4 more times from just the earbuds. I do hope that they eventually add the active noise canceling as well as the pass-through, but I think that the next version does have audio sharing, which I think is another really big feature of these. So I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, a like and comment would be very appreciated, and maybe even subscribe if you'd like to check out more of these videos. And like I said, I will be giving these away. Just follow the directions down below. It's pretty simple. Just like the video, comment, and be subscribed. But peace out.